I realize it's been quite a while since I last had a chat with all of you. So today, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk about the topic of body shaming. I'm sure many of you have watched some lingerie videos before. We have to admit that such topics tend to be highly controversial and attract a larger audience. I myself confess that there is indeed a hint of showing off when it comes to this matter of breasts. But perhaps what many people don't know is that for a considerable period of my childhood, I was extremely self-conscious about having fuller breasts than others. I began developing in the first year of junior high school. Being among the early developers, back then, I was petrified of being discovered that I had started to mature, especially regarding my breasts, whether it was male classmates or female classmates. When they saw some girls who developed earlier and the straps of their breasts were visible on their clothes instead of those of cute undergarments, those girls would be ridiculed behind their backs, being called names like auntie or something revolting. I was especially scared of being labeled in such a way and being disliked. I was overly afraid of not fitting in. So even though I had already begun to develop, I was reluctant to wear bra-style underwear. This unfortunately led to significant problems during breastfeeding when I was older. At that time, most girls hadn't developed yet, and boys hadn't really begun to develop either. So in an effort to blend in, I did my utmost to prevent others from noticing my development. Also, in order to assimilate with them, sometimes I would even join in body shaming other girls who developed earlier or those with less than ideal figures, those who were overweight or in any way not considered good looking. I think this is an extremely bad thing, but it's also something I did during my younger days. I've come to realize that when one is young, one can do many cruel things. Now, I would never utter remarks like someone being too fat or having a flawed figure or having love handles. Instead, I am now more capable of appreciating different body shapes, whether you are slender, tall, short, plump or thin, with more or less flesh. I believe there is a distinct kind of beauty. However, despite having this mindset, when it comes to my own figure, I still maintain a very strict and critical stance. Especially when I am in a full mood, I would scold myself inwardly, telling myself that I'm as obese as a pig and should eat less. I think it's rather lamentable for us women in today's society. Everyone is aware that you should learn to appreciate diverse body shapes and embrace the various kinds of beauty. There ought to be models of different body shapes in the world. I don't think only the skinniest models are the most attractive. Other models of different body shapes and ordinary people all possess their own allure. I think nowadays when strolling on the street, there are just an abundance of beautiful girls. But for myself, I still lack a sufficient level of confidence. I can sense the stringent standards for women's figures in this society. We constantly come across a plethora of notions like women shouldn't weigh more than 100 pounds, but in fact, I've known for ages that I weigh over 100 pounds. I've exceeded 100 pounds for numerous years, yet I'm less than 86 meters tall. I discovered that compared to when I was a teenage girl, I have matured to some extent. I used to shame others' figures and my own, but now I no longer shame others' figures. I only criticize my own. Have I truly grown? It seems that this sort of growth, of course, I also have moments of self-assurance. When I dress in this manner, it's when I'm confident. I think I look better when I wear less. These are all instances when I have confidence in myself. It's just that when I stand before the mirror, I notice numerous shortcomings and overlook my own merits. I believe many people are in the same boat. When you stand in front of the mirror, you might spot your blackheads, your rounded shoulders, your thick and short neck, your love handles, your thick thighs and calves. But in reality, why can't we focus on the positive aspects of ourselves when looking in the mirror? Just like the queen looking into the magic mirror and asking who is the most beautiful in the world, it would undoubtedly reply that it's you. This summer, I have an intense desire to undergo a cosmetic medical procedure, specifically to make my calves slimmer, because my calves are genuinely thick. After saying this, I feel somewhat guilty when I gaze into the mirror. They appear thick to me, so I yearn to eliminate this thickness from my sight. I am contemplating getting Botox injections for thinner calves. In truth, in doing this, I think I am being a bit hypocritical. On one hand, I tell everyone that you should love your figure, that everyone should exude confidence. But simultaneously, I myself don't love my own figure to the fullest extent. This is also something I've witnessed on social platforms. I hold some skeptical viewpoints regarding these topics, because frequently, many opinion leaders will tell you that you should love your figure, that you should coexist peacefully with your figure, that you should accept who you are. But concurrently, their own figures are already exceptionally good, or they have achieved their current physiques through immense perseverance and effort. So this prompts me to reflect a little. It seems somewhat, well, not overly persuasive. Of course, I myself am also not highly convincing. Sometimes I dress rather revealingly in the video and tell everyone that you should love your body, regardless of whether you're plump or slender. But in actuality, I also need to exercise and I can't tolerate being overly overweight either. However, we can only commence from within ourselves. Sometimes I do scold myself in my heart, but now I'm also gradually initiating a change, stating that I must praise myself more. Every morning within my heart, I will heap more praise upon myself. It sounds rather odd, this behavior, but when I praise myself more, I find that indeed, my mindset becomes more positive and my attitude towards myself becomes more favorable. I have no means to grandiosely tell everyone that you should love your body, that you should learn to appreciate your body, that you should coexist peacefully with your body, because I myself am unable to achieve it. But I hope to commence from my own personal experiences and inform some younger individuals that if you are experiencing body shaming, simply overcome that hurdle. Perhaps when you grow older and mature, you will discover that the issue that was once scorned has transformed into an advantage. I also hope to advise women of my age not to fixate overly on the flaws of their figures. You should appreciate the merits of your figure more.